Hello everyone, this is Eyerusalem here, and today I'm going to be covering a preview interview to our next week's speaker series event, best known around the country for their creativity, innovation, fun-loving culture, and consistently getting kicked out of local business establishments. Todd, Megan, and Terry believe in breaking out of the box in order to build incredible businesses and helping other agents do the same. They are the owner-operators of Ferris Property Group, a large dynamic real estate team in the greater Indianapolis area. They co-host the Boom Real Estate podcast, where they focus on helping agents build an amazing business while building an amazing life. They have 7 kids and 3 pets between them, and they might ask you to babysit. Terry, Todd, and Megan speak, train, and dance across the country, and they are very excited to be here today. Please help me welcome Terry and Todd from the Boom team.
Hello.
Yay. Hi, Eyerusalem.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is really exciting.
Thanks for having us. And we do need to update the pet count because we have a hamster in my household, but Todd and Megan have, you guys bought a zoo. Like the movie was based on you guys. You bought a zoo and you have 1 million pets at your house, don't you?
We do. We have a lot. By the way, I just realized I never have a car parked where it is out front right now. There's a complex here. I don't know if you can see, like, depending on where I am, I'm just getting blinded by the sheen off of his windshield. But yes, we have lots of pets, and it changes from week to week. We had 7 chickens last week. We have 0 chickens this week. So thanks for bringing that up. That was fun for the kids to deal with.
What, chickens and a hamster? You mentioned the hamster too.
Yeah, we've got the hamster here on our side of things. Do you have pets, Eyerusalem, or no?
I have 2 cats.
2 cats.
We were asking this question earlier to our brokerage. We were asking them at how many cats, like when is it too many cats? Like when you're a crazy cat person, like 2 is fine. Like I think 2 is perfectly fine. But like, is it 5? You know?
There's a line that you cross at some point where you're a cat lady or a cat man and you're a cat person, you know? But I don't know what that number is. I don't know.
Right. But people don't say the same thing with dogs, though. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah, that's not fair, is it?
You can have as many dogs as you want.
Right.
You
can have as many dogs as you want.
You look terrible, Todd. This is ridiculous. This is manage your shadows.
3, 2, 1. Watch it happen.
Nice.
That's the kind of magical moments you can expect when you join us next week for our talk. It's going to be incredible. That kind of magic that Todd just shared.
Yes, and just to reiterate to everyone, our next speaker series, we will have the Boom team on Wednesday, August 4th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time, where you will learn the 7.5 things you need to be doing to absolutely blow up your business. And with that in mind, my first question to you guys is, why do you see such a need for agents, staff, anyone to embrace these 7.5 Jedi tricks?
I think that there is a pervasive and toxic culture among realtors that we basically can have an amazing career but no life, or you can have a life but don't expect to sell very much. And so our whole philosophy behind the podcast, behind the brokerage that we run here in Indianapolis, our whole vibe and philosophy is that you can build an amazing business so that you can have an amazing life. And so we see realtors all the time who, in my opinion, are living and working in an extremely unhealthy way, in a way that's not sustainable, in a way that's not going to help them get to their goals, or if they do get to their business goals, the rest of their life is non-existent or in shambles. And so I think this is honestly our favorite topic to talk about, and I think it's because we are in this, we address the well, not the faucet. So like we're trying to get to the source of how people are running their lives and running their businesses day in, day out. And so that's kind of our whole stance, is that how your business is going, how your relationships are going, family, finances, happiness, all of that is a reflection of how you're showing up every single day. And so this talk is all about how do we show up on a daily basis in a healthy way so that we can run a business that's just on fire and have it all, the quote unquote have it all. So we get super passionate and excited about this topic.
We get excited because we think it's applicable to new agents, experienced agents. It's new agents. We want to set the tone. And by the way, like the managers that are listening right now, you may just want to plug your ears because we are definitely, as Terry referenced, like we want to make sure you're enjoying your business and your life, which means we don't want you burning the candle at all ends and just doing everything you can to sell gazillions of dollars. That's what we sell in Indianapolis, by the way. We're in the gazillion.
Gazillion.
Yeah. Our average price point is $2 gazillion.
So, but this is all about like for new agents, setting the tones of like how to do things the right way. For experienced agents, a chance to kind of reflect on their business and their life right now and say, okay, maybe there are some changes that I need to make to my lifestyle, both in business and in life. And we kind of want to outline those things for you and give you some tips on how to do it and how to do it well.
Right.
That's all one of your cats.
Yep, that was my cat.
Oh, there's one of the cats. That's right.
No, and you guys make a really good point because I think right now that's incredibly important because over this year it's been not only stressful times with the pandemic, but also it's been a crazy real estate market, especially for our buyers. And then we have like the inventory shortages and things like that. And so it's really important to embrace not only these tricks on a day-to-day business, but I think what you mentioned, with health and happiness. And I think for agents to continuously have that mindset and incorporate that into their daily routines is critical, especially during stressful times like this market.
100%. I will tell you that I was confronted with this a couple of years ago because things were going really well in my business. And I had a friend that asked me and made me think. He said, it's great that you're doing so great, but is this pace sustainable for you? Can you do this for another 10, 20, 30 years? And I realized right then, I was like, oh man, no, because I collapsed over the finish line that year with my best sales year ever, but I was wiped out, So
right.
I think we need to have a lot more conversation around building, yes, fantastic businesses, but ones that are sustainable for decades and decades, if
right.
that's how long we intend to do this,
Right. Absolutely.
I watched my dad and several other people like him that worked their tail off for 30, 40 years so that they could enjoy their retirement. And just seems a little backwards to me that like you're going to work that hard just so you can enjoy the tail end of your life. Why not enjoy it while you're working as well? So we'll kind of reference those things as well. It's fun. It's a fun discussion. It's one that I think a lot of times we don't want to talk about because you don't
right.
want to confront the fact that maybe you are working too hard and maybe your family's not as happy with you as they could be if you were to kind of pivot some things. So
right.
we can stress all those things out.
What's funny too about this whole conversation, and I know you have more you want to talk about, Eyerusalem. I know that, but I'm just all fired up. That's how it goes.
Yes, get all fired up.
I know, right? It's interesting to me that we're talking about all this like family and balance and stuff, but what this session really is, it's about blowing up your business. So it's funny because it feels like we're saying settle for a mediocre business so you can have a better life. And what we're saying is that by having a healthier life, you will also have an amazing business, So it's just interesting that we're having, it sounds like a separate conversation, but it's not. It's the conversation we should be having.
Right. No, it's a very important conversation that affects both their personal and professional lives. And as they're navigating through this market with their clients, right? Some do have kids, some do have like personal things to take care of. And so it's just, and we're trying to really help our agents to kind of avoid that burnout. And we're halfway through the year, well, more than halfway through the year, technically. So they're not yet at the home stretch. And so it's like, it's very critical that we help our agents go through these things. So I'm also looking forward to seeing your class. I'm not an agent. I'm not a licensed agent, and I'm looking forward to seeing your class because there's a lot of things that applies. I think these tricks can really apply to anyone from any industry, as well as our staff members. My second question for you is, which one is personally your favorite trick that makes a difference in your life and business?
Mine is get rid of all your cats and chickens. And
step one. That is step one and step two.
Just so you know, I'm a cat fan too, so it's okay.
Okay, good.
We've got cats too. We've got every animal over here.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm relieved.
Except for chickens. Thanks for bringing that back up. I won't go too deep into it here, but one of my favorite things is having a routine, and that's something we're going to talk about. And it's one of those things that just different. It's a weird concept because it's one of these things that a lot of us got out of whatever profession we were in before because it was too routine, and I want flexibility, and like that was the big focus. And then you can start to get more experience in real estate. And you're like, one of the best ways to run a business is to have a routine and not have as much flexibility. And so we'll talk about routine. But honestly, like as soon as I realized that and I got more in the trenches with my job and realized that it's good to have a routine. And my family respects the routine, which then gives us a better job, a better family life, because part of the routine is that I shut it down when I shut it down. I'm able to spend that time with my family. But when I'm working and I'm working hard. And so it's able to kind of create two separate lives. And
Right.
But I still have the flexibility to, cancel and go to the zoo if I need to. I don't know why the zoo brought it up. We're just talking about zoo a lot today. Lots of animal talk. Half of our tips are about animals and how you can keep them alive. So be ready for that.
What about you, Terry? What's your personal favorite?
I think my favorite thing that we're going to talk about is how to take care of your mind and guard your mindset. And if you're in a place where you're mentally not where you need to be, we're gonna give you some really practical things to get your mind right. Because I just think that it all flows from the mindset. You have to start from that space and work from that place. Otherwise, you're just you're in a burned out, grizzled, cranky spot. Not that you guys have any realtors like that in your market. I'm sure that's only Indianapolis, but we have these curmudgeons sometimes around the office or in the cross deal that we're working, and they're just not happy and miserable. And so to me, it's a mindset thing, and we're going to talk about a lot of practical things to elevate your mindset. So that gets me all excited for sure.
Awesome. And last but not least, why should people check out this upcoming speaker series webinar?
I'm going to answer this one first. And I didn't realize this until I just looked at my calendar while we were talking about this. So get this, you guys are in like the DC, Baltimore, Maryland, like that whole kind of area,
DMV, right?
Yes. Okay. So this is crazy. So we're doing this talk next Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm flying to DC and Baltimore because I'm coming with my brother. Every year we go on a baseball trip and we go see a new stadium. And this year we are coming to a Nationals game on Thursday, and then we're going to a Friday Orioles game. And it just occurred to me that I'm going to talk to you guys, and then I'm going to come into town for the next. So really, I just need people to come to give me food recommendations, restaurants, bars, hangouts, the things that we should do when we're in town. That's really, It's just selfish. That's why I want. No, but that's all true. That's all 100% true. So that's crazy. But I would say, I think that if people apply even a part of what we're going to talk about, even a part that, and then apply it consistently in their lives, they have a real chance to have a much better business than what they currently have, and more importantly, a much better life than they have. So I know it's like a huge thing to promise, but honestly, if people come open and they take away just a couple of things and actually apply them consistently over time, their lives will be much, much better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's really good to know. What about you, Todd?
The big thing for me is that we're going to be, for all those that are in attendance, we're going to be raffling off a Mazda Miata. It's exciting.
Not a lot of Miatas out and about anymore.
We're bringing it back. We are bringing it back.
I'm going to drive the Miata out to DC, and I'll deliver it to some lucky winner's doorstep.
I'll go fashion one of those big bows that you can put on the car, and we could do like a surprise at their gate. Do you guys all
have the giant bow?
Do you guys have gates to your homes, all your homes? Because ours are gazillion homes. So
not over here. Not all homes, because they're not all gazillion over here. But it's a different market compared to Indianapolis. But but definitely, it's. I'm sure it's a crazy market over there, as it is in most parts of the country.
It is. Yeah. And that's why I want people to join us, because those are the types of conversations we want to have is
Right.
how can you not only be successful, and take your success to a new level, but do it in a lifestyle that's appropriate for the way that you live in it, so you can enjoy both sides of it. So that's the type of things that we preach about. Those are the types of people that we love to hang out with and talk to, and kind of all grow our businesses together, and the whole rising tides and ships and other things that rise.
Beautiful metaphor to close it out, Todd. Nicely done.
No, yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And, I appreciate you guys taking the time, out of your day to give us this sort of interview preview. And just for everyone, just to reiterate, it is the speaker series on 7.5 personal Jedi tricks to ignite your business with the Boom team. Is scheduled for next Wednesday, August 4th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will be going YouTube and Facebook Live as well on that platform. And definitely looking forward to that. Terry and Todd, thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Thanks, Eyerusalem. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.